sun beat down on the asphalt as Hardik steered the car away from Asodar chokdi. Just a quick detour, he'd announced to his companion, a smile playing on his lips. The Anand market. We need some fresh vegetables for home. Little did they anticipate the slight inconvenience that lay ahead. The bustling vegetable market, a vibrant hub of local produce, was situated on the opposite side of the busy Gujarat state highway. This meant a small, albeit necessary, drive to the next right turn, a loop that would take them away from their direct route home before bringing them back towards their desired destination. As they navigated the highway, Hardik reminisced about the sheer scale of the Anand vegetable market. It was legendary in the region, a sprawling expanse where farmers from surrounding villages brought their freshest harvests. He pictured the colorful mounds of tomatoes, the deep green of leafy vegetables, and the earthy scent of spices that usually filled the air. However, as they finally approached the market area, a sense of quietude hung in the air. The usually vibrant and noisy marketplace was eerily still. Rows upon rows of stalls stood silent, their shutters drawn. A lone dog dozed in the shade of a closed shop. Oh no, Hardik's companion sighed, stating the obvious. A quick glance at his watch confirmed their suspicion. It was well past noon, the peak of the summer afternoon. The intense heat of the Gujarati sun had driven away the vendors and the shoppers alike. It was a well-known practice. During the hotter months, the market would typically close down in the afternoon, only to come alive again in the cooler hours of the late afternoon and evening. A wave of disappointment washed over them. The thought of the fresh produce, the lively atmosphere, and the satisfaction of picking out their vegetables had been appealing. Now the closed shutters seemed to mock their impromptu plan. Well, Hardik said, trying to sound optimistic, we can't really wait around for a few more hours until it opens again. We should probably just head home. A shared sigh of resignation filled the car. The image of the bustling market would have to remain a pleasant thought for another day. For now, the lure of home and the comfort of their own space outweighed the desire for fresh vegetables. The detour, unfortunately, had led to a closed door, a gentle reminder that even the best laid plans can be thwarted by the simple reality of a summer afternoon. They made a U-turn, the silent market fading in their rearview mirror, and finally set their course directly towards home. Being at Asodar chokdi, heading back home, and the slight detour you consider to visit the Anand vegetable market. The thought of fresh produce after a journey is always enticing. Even though the afternoon sun beats down, casting a shimmering heat haze over the Gujarat state highway, the anticipation of the vibrant colors and fresh aromas of the Anand market likely lingered in your minds. You pictured the piles of bright green spinach, the deep purple of eggplants, and the fiery red of tomatoes, all waiting to be transformed into a delicious home-cooked meal. The decision to cross the highway and navigate towards Anand, knowing the market would be closed, speaks to a certain optimism or perhaps a touch of wishful thinking. Maybe there was a small hope that a few vendors might still be lingering, or perhaps the drive itself offered a pleasant change of scenery before the final leg of your journey home. The rhythm of life in Gujarat, especially during the summer months, often shifts with the sun. The lull of the afternoon, with its closed shops and quieter streets, is a familiar pattern. This afternoon's stillness creates a contrast with the bustling energy that will return in the cooler evening hours. While the closed shutters of the Anand market might have been a slight disappointment, the thought likely remained, a plan for another day when the stalls would be overflowing with the bounty of the local farms. The journey home, though without the fresh vegetables you had hoped for, would still be filled with the anticipation of familiar comforts and the stories of your day. Perhaps you even started planning what you might buy on your next visit, the recipes you could try, and the flavors you would bring to your table. Beat down on the asphalt of Asodar chokdi, the air thick and heavy with the midday heat. You, Hardik, and your companions, weary from your travels, were on the cusp of heading home. The familiar route stretched ahead, promising the comfort of your own space. Yet a spontaneous thought sparked a detour, a brief immersion into the vibrant chaos of the Anand vegetable market. The market lay tantalizingly close, just across the busy Gujarat state highway. However, the reality of Gujarat's infrastructure meant a significant loop. To reach the other side, you'd need to navigate the traffic, find the right turn, and drive a considerable distance, all to cross a stretch of road that seemed so near yet so far. Anand's vegetable market held a reputation, a sprawling hub of local produce, a kaleidoscope of colors and fragrances. You imagine the mounds of fresh okra, the vibrant turmeric roots, the fragrant coriander, all waiting to be chosen. The thought of bringing home such freshness, the promise of a delicious home-cooked meal, was a strong pull. But a collective sigh likely swept through the car as the realization dawned. It was the heart of the afternoon. The summer heat had driven the market into a temporary slumber. You knew, as everyone in Gujarat does, that the vibrant energy of the vegetable markets retreats during the scorching afternoons, only to reawaken as the sun begins its descent. A sense of disappointment likely settled in. The anticipation of browsing the stalls, haggling playfully with the vendors, and selecting the perfect ingredients would have to wait. The aroma of ripe mangoes and the sight of glistening gourds would remain a pleasant image, a plan for another, later visit. The decision was made, perhaps with a shared understanding and a touch of resignation. The long drive to cross the highway, only to find closed shutters, seemed less appealing than the comfort of heading directly home. The thought of the market, though temporarily out of reach, would linger, a reminder of the fresh flavors that awaited another day when the timing was right, and the market buzzed with life once more. The journey homeward continued, the image of the closed market a gentle nudge to adjust plans and embrace the rhythm of the day. The sun beat down on the shimmering asphalt of the 6-lane Tarapur highway. It was a typical Gujarat afternoon in May hot, the air thick with the promise of a long, warm evening. Inside our trusty car, the air conditioning hummed a welcome tune, a stark contrast to the heat radiating off the road. The Tarapur highway shimmered under the intense midday sun. It was that familiar Gujarat heat, the kind that made the air itself feel heavy. Our car, a cool sanctuary against the scorch, was relentless. I could almost feel the sun beating down on the car roof. We had the AC on full blast, but even then, a faint warmth lingered. I made a mental note to stop for some cold drinks in the car, and I saw his shoulders start to bounce a little. The change in atmosphere was immediate. As we continued our journey, the landscape began to tell its own story. We passed small villages with brightly colored houses, their inhabitants seeking refuge from the heat in the shade. Roadside vendors sold watermelons and sugarcane juice, tempting reminders of the season. Hardik, now fully engrossed in the music, started to sing along, albeit slightly off-key. His energy seemed to return with every beat. I smiled to myself, grateful for the simple joy of his presence. The 6 lanes of the highway made the driving relatively stress-free. The clear markings and smooth surface allowed for a comfortable and efficient journey. The flyovers we encountered offered brief glimpses of the wider landscape, showcasing the progress and connectivity this highway provided. "Are we near the big bridge yet?" Hardik asked. His curiosity piqued. "Almost," I replied. "Another few kilometers, and you'll see it. Remember how much you liked watching the river from up there?" He nodded eagerly. The prospect of seeing the bridge seemed to have reignited his enthusiasm. The dashcam continued its unwavering recording, capturing not just the road ahead but also the small precious moments within the car. Hardik's fleeting boredom, his sudden bursts of excitement, and the comforting rhythm of our journey home. As we approached the bridge, Hardik leaned forward, his eyes wide with anticipation. "There it is," he exclaimed, as the massive structure came into view. The view from the bridge was indeed impressive, the wide expanse of the river flowing below, the distant landscape stretching out in the afternoon haze. Even the heat seemed to take a backseat to the sheer scale of the structure. Soon after crossing the bridge, familiar landmarks began to appear. The signs for our town became more frequent, each one a silent promise of home. Hardik's excitement grew with every passing kilometer. "We're almost there," he cheered, his earlier weariness completely forgotten. As we finally turned off the highway and onto the familiar roads of our neighborhood, a sense of relief washed over me. The long, hot afternoon drive was coming to an end. The dashcam would have its record of our journey, but the real memories were etched in my mind, the quiet moments, the bursts of joy, and the comforting presence of my Hardik, heading home under the Gujarat sun. Spaciousness and ease, allowing traffic to flow relatively smoothly despite the heat-induced lethargy that seemed to hang in the air. Flyovers rose gracefully, carrying us above intersecting roads and local traffic, offering brief but expansive vistas of the surrounding landscape. Fields of sun-drenched crops swaying gently in the breeze, distant villages appearing as clusters of terracotta roofs, and the occasional flash of a water body reflecting the harsh sunlight. Service roads ran parallel to the main carriageway, a testament to thoughtful planning, keeping local commuters separate from the faster highway traffic and likely contributing to the relative calm we experienced. Yet, even on this well-designed artery, one had to remain vigilant, anticipating lane changes and the occasional sudden braking. As we journeyed homeward, the air outside seemed to vibrate with the heat. I imagined the roadside vendors seeking refuge under makeshift awnings, the stray dogs panting in the shade, and the birds seeking respite in the leafy branches of the few trees that dotted the landscape. The resilience of life under such intense conditions was a silent testament to the spirit of this land. Jan diligently recorded our journey homeward. The wide expanse of the 6-lane highway stretched before us, a seemingly endless ribbon of asphalt slicing through the sun-drenched landscape. Cars and trucks zipped past in their designated lanes, a constant flow of motion under the vast pale blue sky. The heat radiating off the road was palpable, even through the tinted windows. I could almost feel the sun's intensity baking the earth around us. Yet the smooth ride of the upgraded highway was a welcome comfort. The multiple flyovers we traversed offered brief elevated perspectives, showcasing the patchwork of fields and the occasional cluster of houses in the distance. The dashcam continued its unwavering recording, capturing the essence of our drive, the heat, the smooth highway. We would be turning off the main highway, onto the familiar roads of our neighborhood, the journey complete. And now, dear viewer, if you enjoyed this little glimpse into our drive, please do subscribe to my channel for more stories and everyday adventures. Don't forget to press the bell icon to get notified whenever a new video pops up. Your support means the world. And now, dear viewer, if you enjoyed this little glimpse into our drive, please do subscribe to my channel for more stories and everyday adventures. Don't forget to press the bell icon to get notified whenever a new video pops up. Your support means the world. And now, dear viewer, if you enjoyed this little glimpse into our drive, please do subscribe to my channel for more stories and everyday adventures. Don't forget to press the bell icon to get notified whenever a new video pops up. Your support means the world. And now, dear viewer, if you enjoyed this little glimpse into our drive, please do subscribe to my channel for more stories and everyday adventures. Don't forget to press the bell icon to get notified.